Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch the videos. I appreciate all the continued support you show the channel here. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So before we dive into these topics, do me a big favor. If you do end up enjoying this video or finding it informative, make sure you leave it a like. Really helps the videos out more than you know. And if you are new here to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. The first topic we're talking about is something that I think quite a few of you will be excited about. Now, this is not the first time we're talking about this, but this is the first time we're hearing about it in quite some time, and it seems that we have a second PlayStation insider letting us know that both Sly Cooper and Infamous are set to return. Both of these games are currently in development. So this is reading from PlayStation Universe. Fresh installments in the Sly Cooper and Infamous franchises are in development for the PS5, according to insider account NGT. This follows up from a previous rumor that Sony is looking to revive an extremely popular franchise. While you should take this with a pinch of salt for the time being, it's worth mentioning that this leaker has a solid track record, having accurately leaked details on the likes of Star Wars Eclipse before it was officially unveiled. And he says on Twitter, "I can corroborate that a new Sly Cooper and a new Infamous are in development." Now, it's also worth noting that we have the other PlayStation insider, that being Special Nick, or Nick Baker from the Xbox Era podcast. He said previously that Sony is working on a new Sly Cooper game as well as a new Infamous game. So we now have two credible insiders saying the same thing. It seems likely at this point that this is good information and Sony is working on this. And if it does turn out to be true, I think a lot of PlayStation fans are going to be excited about that. I've seen plenty of you say how you would love to see a new Infamous game on PS5 and a new Sly Cooper game. So at this point, I'm going to ask you guys to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Would you be excited to get a new Infamous game and a new Sly Cooper game? And which one would you be more excited for? Because it does seem like we are getting both. But continuing to talk about account NGT, I thought I would give you guys a little update on the rumored PlayStation event that is set to happen in March. He says here, even with some delays for the console exclusives, it should be a great year for PlayStation players with the announcement and release of some PlayStation IPs that does their return. A new event is definitely planned this month, and they won't be announcing all their surprises. So it seems that account NGT here is kind of hinting that this Infamous game and the Sly Cooper game, they may end up being revealed at this upcoming event. He's also stressing that Sony will not be announcing all of their surprises, which is interesting to me because you have to imagine if Sony does do a showcase of some kind in March, they're likely going to have a second showcase later in the year, whether that be in June or September or at another time. So it would make sense that they're not going to reveal everything all at one time. But in regards to what he's referencing here about a game being delayed, he's actually talking about Forspoken. He says here, according to a source, Forspoken is delayed. It could be officially announced at the PlayStation event, not sure. And this makes a lot of sense to me. We haven't heard anything or seen anything when it comes to Forspoken in quite some time. And unfortunately, the last thing we did see was about 4 minutes of raw gameplay, which it didn't get the most positive feedback, and I think maybe because of that, the developers decided to delay it and see if they can take in that feedback and hopefully improve the game in any area that seemed underwhelming to players, which I think will be a good thing. I really won't mind Forspoken getting delayed. I would prefer them to, take the time that is necessary to make it the best it can be, but nonetheless, it seems like a PlayStation showcase of some kind is happening in March. And before I move on to the next topic, I just want to say that the thing I'm really eager to learn about, because I have no doubt that Sony is doing something this month, is it going to be a state of play or is it going to be a proper showcase? Now, I'm going to say that I do think it is going to be a showcase. I know I sound like a broken record, but I just want to clarify one thing. I don't think it's going to be the biggest showcase. I think it's going to be like a medium-sized showcase, similar to something like what we got in September of 2021. It was a PlayStation showcase, but it wasn't like the Future of Gaming hour-and-a-half long event where it was just, massive reveal after massive reveal. I'm not expecting that. But nonetheless, it seems like Sony has big plans this month, and I will keep you guys updated. The next topic in line talks about Returnal. Apparently, they did confirm that they are working on a new IP. they are not working on a sequel to Returnal. This is reading from VGC, and they say the next game from Returnal studio Housemarque will be a new intellectual property rather than a sequel. In a new VentureBeat interview, Housemarque's CEO and its co-founder said the studio's next project is still in the conception phase. Third-person sci-fi shooter Returnal released for PS5 in April of 2021 and was the Finnish studio's largest and most ambitious project to date, following 2 decades focused on 2D arcade-style shooters such as Super Stardust HD and Resogun. So I wanted to be sure to let you guys know about this because we obviously know that Housemarque is working on their next project, but it's good to get some concrete info here where we know not to expect a sequel to Returnal, and that makes sense to me. For anybody who did finish Returnal and even got the secret ending, you know that there maybe was a little bit more they could do with it, but realistically, it seems like it would have been pretty difficult, and so I'm very excited. I think that Housemarque is the type of studio that is best suited to kind of just keep working on one new IP after another, and I'm particularly excited to see what they're going to be able to do with their next game, because for as impressive as Returnal was, the next game we get from them will be their first title as a PlayStation studio officially, not a partner studio, so that's definitely exciting. I also want to let you guys know that Returnal has picked up 8 nominations for the BAFTA Game Awards 2022. And so it says here, reading from gamesindustry.biz, that the nominations for the 2022 BAFTA Games Awards have been revealed, with the event scheduled to take place on Thursday, April 7th. Housemarque's Returnal leads the nominations with a mention across 8 categories, while Insomniac's Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has picked up 7 nominations, both appearing in the Game of the Year category. Other titles picked up a handful of nominations each. Forza Horizon 5 from Playground Games and Double Fine's Psychonauts 2 both received 6 each, while Arcane's Deathloop features in 5 categories. So I wanted to be sure to let you guys know about this as well, because you know, this is a pretty big deal for a studio like Housemarque. The BAFTA Game Awards are very significant to developers, and so to see Returnal leading the way, that is very impressive. Happy to see that. I'm sure that they are thrilled about that. And also seeing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart right up there. Always love to see that. Moving on to the next topic, though, we're talking briefly about Gran Turismo 7. This is reading from WCCF Tech, where it says Polyphony Digital has marginally detailed future Gran Turismo 7 updates on PS4 and PS5. The next installment in the popular racing series for PlayStation launches globally tomorrow, and ahead of its worldwide release, developer Polyphony has provided more details about what to expect from future updates for the game. Players can expect new courses, cars, as well as new World Circuit events to be added through upcoming updates. In addition, new mission races will be added alongside new lobby features, new time trials. Players will also be able to listen to more music rally songs within the game, and more engine parts will be made available for swapping. And I also wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that apparently the DualSense implementation for Gran Turismo 7 specifically is top notch. I've seen quite a few people talking about how it really is a game changer for this type of game specifically, and that is definitely exciting. I don't know when exactly I'm going to be playing Gran Turismo 7, but if there's one thing that definitely makes me feel like I want to play it sooner rather than later, is that right there. You guys know how much I love the DualSense controller and how much I've advocated for it, saying that it really does make a difference when it's implemented correctly. I've been playing Horizon. I think Guerrilla Games, they did a great job taking full advantage of the DualSense, but I have to imagine that when you're playing a game like Gran Turismo 7, it just does things so differently and really does make, I'd say, a bigger difference, right? I feel like if there's any game that can really allow the DualSense to shine, it's probably GT7. But nonetheless, those are some of the future updates you can expect, or some of the things you can expect to get, I should say, in future updates if you choose to buy Gran Turismo 7. But the final topic I have for you guys is in regards to Elden Ring sales. Now, I thought that this was very interesting because I know that many of you are currently playing Elden Ring alongside Horizon Forbidden West like I am right now, and I'm happy to let you know that apparently From Software is absolutely crushing it, maybe at the expense, unfortunately, of Horizon Forbidden West. So this is reading from gamesindustry.biz, where it says Elden Ring is the biggest UK video game launch since Call of Duty Vanguard, according to the latest digital and physical data supplied by GSD. Its sales are 2.5 times that of last week's big new release, PlayStation's Horizon Forbidden West. In fact, it's the biggest game launch outside of the Call of Duty and FIFA franchises since Red Dead Redemption 2 in October of 2018. Its week 1 sales are bigger than Cyberpunk 2077 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which delivered significant opening sales back in 2020. And games industry's Christopher Dring lets us know what the split was. He says overall, PS5 and PS4 accounted for 41% of sales, PC accounted for 30% of sales, and Xbox accounted for 29% of sales. Now, we did recently talk about the physical split when it comes to people who are buying physical copies of games, and PlayStation dominated that with an 80-20 split. And a lot of people were saying, you know what, maybe we should wait until we get all of the data, including the digital sales, and that will paint a clear picture. And that's absolutely true in this case. Overall, Elden Ring is selling well across all platforms, but PlayStation does have a slight lead here, which is to be expected, I think. But in general, it seems that From Software has pretty much elevated themselves to a whole another level here, and that is awesome. Again, I couldn't be happier for them. I wanted to be able to share this with you guys because, you know, From Software, I think they've come a long way and they've really earned, I think, this type of success. And so it's unfortunate to see that Horizon Forbidden West maybe is suffering a little bit here due to the timing of its release, and you have to wonder if PlayStation is feeling a little bit frustrated, like maybe they underestimated just how big of a deal Elden Ring was going to be. People are saying that Guerrilla Games is kind of cursed, or specifically Horizon's cursed, because back when Zero Dawn launched, it launched the same week as Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we know, you know, how successful that game was, and it kind of overshadowed Zero Dawn a little bit. And a similar thing seems to be happening here with Elden Ring. So I have no doubt that Forbidden West will sell very well. I mean, even though Zero Dawn did launch the same week as Breath of the Wild, it did still go on to sell 20 million copies, which is staggering in and of itself. So I expect that both Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West will do very well sales-wise in the long run. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, if you did, make sure you leave it a like. Be sure to leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.